We bring in Congressman Ed Royce, California Republican, chairman of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs. Thank you for being here. I want to get right to that most recent news into us here at CNN that according to Yemen's foreign minister, Saudi-led coalition troops, ground troops, could be on the ground in Yemen within days. Have you heard the same thing? What would that look like? I'm just wondering what your sources are telling you.
Bobby, I've been talking to Saudi officials for about a week now about this operation, and U.S. officials. I can tell you there are about 150,000 Saudi troops. As you know, an F-15 making a run, a flight over the area was shot down. U.S. forces were involved in rescuing those two pilots. But clearly what the Saudis are preparing to do is to try to push back this attack because they're concerned with what the Iranians have said. The Iranians have said they've now taken the capitals of 4 Arab states. They're talking about Yemen, they're talking about Damascus, they're talking about Beirut, they're talking about Baghdad, and they're now articulating that they're positioned to create problems for Saudi Arabia. So the Saudis clearly do not intend to allow Yemen to become a staging ground for Iran, for attacks. I would also just say this is a problem for the United States because already our intelligence agents in the country who are working against al-Qaeda and our intelligence operatives' names apparently have been turned over to senior Iranian intelligence officials. There's several hundred Quds forces from Iran that are helping to lead these Shia rebels in taking over Yemen, and they apparently have access now to that data.
Where is that information coming to you from?
It's coming from various sources, but those in the region. I talked to the ambassadors in the Gulf, and as you know, the Saudis are also talking to 9 other countries in the region, including the Egyptians. The Egyptians are concerned because the Red Sea itself might be choked off if Yemen is controlled by Iranian forces. So increasingly this becomes a regional concern for Arab states because of the aggression on the part of the regime, an aggression that is so great that the Ayatollah last week, by the way, led a crowd in chants of death to America, and the Ayatollah himself was saying, yes, death to America. So this kind of aggression on the part of the Iranians has everyone nervous.
So a senior Obama administration official saying this week, quote, there will be no military intervention by the U.S. in Yemen. That said, Secretary of State John Kerry saying, look, the U.S. is willing to help with intelligence information, targeting assistance, logistical support. Clearly that's happening. I wonder if you think that is the right position, approach of the United States right now, given, frankly, how stretched U.S. resources are in the region fighting ISIS.
We should not be involved militarily there. However, the point I would make is that we had 100 special ops operating in that area against al-Qaeda. And one of the consequences of the Iranians coming in is that we've pulled our people out. So what that means now in terms of security in the region is al-Qaeda has something of a free hand unless the Saudis are able to put President Hadi back in power and bring some semblance of order in Yemen. Our best ally in fighting against al-Qaeda has now been pushed out. And this, of course, is a key concern to us, given, as I've explained, the bomb-making capabilities of al-Qaeda out of this operation in Yemen, which is, frankly, their most dangerous franchise, in my opinion.
Very quickly, sir, who is a greater risk to the United States, Iran or ISIS?
They're both a risk to the United States. They both represent an extremist ideology, and our best effort should be to unite the international community in a way that makes certain that first, Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon, and second, that ISIS is defeated. But unfortunately, the extremism that comes out of both the Iranian leadership, with what they're doing with Shia-led assaults across the region is further inflaming the passions, and second, the radicalization that's occurred with respect to ISIS. That's become a worldwide problem of a caliphate that intends to not only try to dominate the region, but it's sort of a worldwide caliphate now on the internet where they're urging people to make attacks all over the globe. So both require the international community working in concert towards the goal of stabilization in that region.
Chairman Roy